Thank you everyone for joining us. Today we're talking about a sustainable tiered approach model for fragrance ingredient risk assessment. And we have some terrific speakers. My name is Lori Kretschmar. I'm your moderator today. And I think, as you all know, we are recording this webinar for those who can't be with us in person right now. And you'll be able to find it on the Veritys Scheme website soon. So today we're hearing from two senior scientists from the Research Institute for Fragrance Materials. And in June, we'll be talking about green chemistry adoption in academia, and we will be sure to send you information about that if you'd like to join that webinar. That'll be about research and development, as well as teaching green chemistry in schools today, and how it's becoming more mainstream. Anyway, before I introduce our speakers, I'd like to introduce you to Veritys Scheme's CEO, Neelam Vaidya. Over to you, Neelam.
Thank you, Laurie. This is, let me share my screen. Thank you everyone for joining us. In a way, this is our introduction to your industry. This is the first time we are actually talking to the flavor and fragrance industries, and really would love to know more about this industry as we go forward. So today I would like to talk a little bit about our platform, really what kind of information you can get from our platform through our products, and what are the different ways you can access it. So let me share my screen. So can everyone see my screen? I guess I can. So Veritys Scheme is a platform for green chemistry. We provide toxicity analysis for every known chemical and even for unknown and chemicals and new molecules. So we provide the toxicity evaluation in silico based on the structures. So what are the different areas that we are addressing that the industry needs? Accurate toxicity data for smart decision making. As you all know, the toxicity data for very few chemicals is available, especially the experimental data. And even for the experimental data, there are, depending on how you do the experiment, the data values change. There is a lot of curation that needs to be done for this data, and this is what we provide. Minimizing the R&D costs during the drug discovery. We provide toxicity evaluation of the new molecule or even the postulated molecules during the target identification, and this is by utilizing the industry standard models that we have available and our automation platform that identifies in real time which models work best for the specific chemical. We help you eliminate the use of toxic ingredients and reagents. You can provide the chemical, and we can actually provide you 48 different properties, physical and toxicological properties, as well as the toxicity analysis, both from Veritys Scheme as well as from GHS at the moment. Comprehensive global regulatory compliance. We utilize 136 different regulatory lists, and if the chemical that you are looking at is listed in any of those lists, we identify them. And then, of course, last is the lab safety. Because we know the information about all the chemicals, we can actually provide you the identify where in your lab the toxic chemicals are so that you can isolate them by integrating with your lab management software. So what we offer is the world's largest toxicity database and highly curated database. So with 95 million chemicals, 3 billion properties. We have experimental data from most available sources. We are constantly accessing more data and curating it and integrating into our database. Sophisticated AI-driven toxicity measurement platform that can instantly generate in silico data for real-time tox analysis. So we have models that are industry standard already integrated into our platform. But if then third-party toxicity models providers who would like to partner with us, we can actually plug in those models and make them available to the customers. And we do this through revenue sharing. We're the only company offering toxicity analysis of novel molecules even before your R&D starts. So pharmaceutical companies, agrochemical companies, they can actually automate the whole and toxicity analysis, initial toxicity analysis information during the target identification process and get the information for every molecule they're looking at. We are the only company providing the choice of less toxic reagent based on your reaction needs. And we also provide the full regulatory information, global regulatory information. So how would the companies use the products? Would be the, during drug discovery, as I mentioned, to learn about the toxicity and identify the high-risk drug targets. Eliminate the use of toxic raw materials, understand the toxicity footprint of the processes, and then find the less toxic alternatives and optimize the processes for greenness. Also to ensure the regulatory compliance information and for the lab safety. So as you can see, both the R&D departments as well as the EHS and lab safety departments can use it. Even for education, a product can be used based on the structure. The students can understand the toxicity of the chemical by changing the structures and learning about different functional groups that the chemical belongs to. They can learn more about what the relationship between the toxicity and the structures. So here is our platform that mainly based on 3 different components. The Veritys Scheme database includes the properties database, regulatory database, toxicity endpoint database, and we also have the SDS repository and GHS database. We have actually extracted the information from all the regulatory lists as well as the GHS databases to GHS reports to actually include them into our database by converting the textual format to a digital format so we can actually visually show you how the toxicity is. The sources are government, R&D organizations, university data sets. Some of the companies have shared their public domain data, as well as some of the SDS from the reputed manufacturers and providers. The second part is the in silico data generator. We have incorporated about 200 different industry standard models, as well as we are adding more third-party models to the plugin in integration. And we have our own proprietary read-across models that we utilize to have a high accuracy information. And we have developed a deep learning platform that we are not utilizing in the production mode. We're waiting for acceptance of this data before we can do that. And then the third component is the toxicity analyzer. Currently, we have a product that's available through yearly subscription called Chemical Analyzer, and we provide the chemical analysis, GHS analysis, but we would also like to provide other types of analyses that are defined by the different organizations like Green Screen, Cradle to Cradle, Safer Choice, or RIFM if possible. And we would love to talk to you if you can actually collaborate with us on these things. And we are in the process of developing mixture analyzer or a formulation analyzer. And during the future webinar, I will explain that further. So here's what our product looks like: physical toxicological properties, and they are provided in different tabs. And then based on these properties, we provide scores. We have about 48 different properties. You can configure to the product so that you can see the property that you care about most often through the product. We show the GHS pictograms, and when you click on this plus sign, you can actually get the full report. If the data is in green, that means it's experimental data. Otherwise, it's in silico data. If there are any in the bracket and 3 dots, as you can see here and under melting point, that data is available from multiple sources, the experimental data. And we actually, clicking on that, we can show you the information from all the different sources. If the triangle on the top next to the chemical name is yellow or red, that means the chemical is listed under some regulatory list. And clicking on the triangle, you can actually get the full list of regulatory list. The scores are about 56 different endpoints currently, and you can actually see that in the graph. As you can see, you can compare the chemicals very easily by we actually layer the toxicity diagram on top of each other, so that per endpoint you can actually see the difference between the chemicals. You can compare up to 5 chemicals. And then we have advanced search features where you can actually see select better chemicals. So as you can see on the right side, graphically, we show the GHS analysis, Veritys Scheme analysis, and in future, if there are any other analysis available, we'll be showing those in the different tabs on the right. So here are some of the sources where we got the properties and prediction models from. Now for the databases, we got the government sources. Then we also collected data from R&D organization, educational institutes. We have extracted data from the technical papers and converted that to in digital format. And then, of course, we have some SDS and GHS analysis of that we have extracted the data from some of the companies that we have. We have regulatory information sources. There are different regulatory lists from different countries, both state, in the US, we have both state as well as federal government lists included. And of course, we have the in silico data prediction data generator, where we actually are using the government provided models, both US and European, and we have our own read across models. These are the different properties we can provide. As you can see, they're pretty comprehensive. And then we have the different health, both acute, chronic information available. Based on the properties, we actually provide elaborate toxicological analysis, both water, soil, and so forth. And we also identify that specific chemicals are used within the industry, different industries. And we also utilize the list of chemicals that some of the standard groups provide that they should not be using or using, and we provide that information. And here are all the endpoints that we cover. And this is the health points are the one where we are actually increasing our information. And they're all based on ANSI 355 standard. We use OECD guidelines, United Nations guidelines to do our calculations. How would you use it? To select less toxic chemical among the given set of choices. You can also select the ingredients with the minimum toxicity based on your reaction needs. So just provide your requirements and we will give you the list along with their toxicity scores. Based on the chemical structure, you can get the comprehensive physical toxicological property as well as analysis for the proprietary chemical. And most importantly, given our rich chemical database and our capacity to run the AI models in real time and fully automating the selection of the AI models and getting the similar chemical information, you would love to explore collaborative opportunities where you may have some specific needs for getting the chemical information that we can provide either programmatically or through the product. I hope you enjoyed it, my talk. If you need to contact us, here is the information. Of course, it's already also available on our website. So I guess we'll have the Q&A later on. So Lori,
yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Neelam.